Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be going over rigid body direction and the basics of caching your geometry in and out of Houdini. To begin, let's just drop in a ground plane like we had before, the basics. Now then, just hit G to navigate it in. Now I created your autodot network. Just place it over here, move it over. Now let's just drop in a sphere. Now to keep things organized, netbox 1, simulation ground, this here is our simulation fracture. Now then, just move our what you must do is make it breakable. Or you can select them from your object level. Hit enter, except right now it looks kind of messy in here. Hit your L key and it organizes everything together. And we only have one ground plane. And we should only have one set of these. Organize it again better. There we go. I think that's just from me testing it out earlier. Okay. Now then, show all objects. Looking good. Now, when we hit play, what's happening? That's going to be number 23. That's going to be this piece right here. And here's the information for this simulation object right here. Sometimes that is helpful when you're using a wrangle to control, but that's more advanced than what we're going to be going over in this little session today. So, let's say you love this completely. Then, what you do is you go to your output, click on here, go to, well for me it's E drive. We'll just keep everything in renders. Actually, let's just do it in the root. Demo. Cache. Then for this, to make sure we have extensions correctly, they'll show them here. Go with sphere fracture dot $SF. And the important thing is these two must be capitals, otherwise it doesn't know what you're trying to tell it. Sim. Accept. Save to disk. And as you can see, it's rendering out all the frames, and it's doing a whole lot more than it needs to, but it's doing what I told it to do. Frame 1 to 240. Frame 1, frame 240. Almost there. And now we have the simulation data. Part 1 is done. Part 2 is the geometry. Dive into your sphere, drop in a file node. Not any, just file. File is for reading. You want your cache because you're caching this out. Make it active. You do that by clicking on the blue here. Then, yeah, let's just keep the same frame range. Just like before, go to your E drive, Houdini project folder, demo, cache. This time, it's going to be a little bit different in the extension. So, sphere fracture dot $OS, that designates the file. Actually, we don't need that because we got that from many different things, and you want to always tell it which project. Like if you're at DreamWorks and you want to say, I'm doing a Pyro that is for Smurfs. Now I'm doing Pyro that is for How to Train Your Dragon. So you would call it probably pyro dot $OS, so that way it takes the file of the project you're working on. Now to get back, you do $F4. Actually, that's for image sequences. Actually, yeah, let's keep the 4. .bgeo. Accept. Save to disk. Within a few seconds, a box should start the render. Or maybe it's already done. Let's have a look-see. Hop down to, where's my E drive? There's my E. Houdini project folder. Brought them all out. We're good. Okay. Now let's turn these off since we no longer will need them. Click on Playback Simulation. Click here. Go to your E drive. Houdini project folder. Demo. Cache. Click here. There. Tells you your frame range, 1 to 240. Accept. Now that is all done. Now we want to load in the file, so you drop down a geo. It's just a null geo. Now to title this, sphere cache, which is exactly what it is. You want to drop it into your network box so that way you know exactly what it is. Here's your file. As you can tell, it's for reading in the geometry only. And you're good to go. As you can tell, you got your simulation playing because it's all nice and purple. Now, let's see what it goes. As you can tell, it just goes up and it fractures. Goes down, fractures. Now, if you so desire, you can also have cached out the ground plane, so that way they're all there. And if you were doing that, then when you were crashing out, you would have wanted to use a file merge, so that way you did both of them. But for our purpose, this is it. That's all you really need to do. And that's the basics of caching out your geometry and reading it into your scene. Now, just to show you, that's what it looks like normally. Stop you with our cache selected. This is, let's go create a new network box for you. Call you lights. Now, you want to make sure your geometry was selected when you created the geolight. Otherwise, you'll be creating a geometry light for nothing, and nothing will get illuminated because you didn't designate. Let's just put on a blue light, intensity of 2.25, exposure of 0.02, sampling quality of 2, rendering, out geometry, shadow intensity of 4. Now let's enable the ground plane so we can actually see it. Okay, let's move this. Let's go a little further down then. Yeah, that seems about right. Enable geocache. And let's go. Okay, looks about there, should be fine. Let's find it, and right there should be a good angle. Let's render that, see what that looks like. As you can see, I don't need to render out everything. You can see that right here is where the fall off is starting. It's real intense here in your geometry, and it spreads out in a 360-degree angle in all directions. It's more intense this way towards us because that's the way we're looking, but in reality, if you rotate the camera this way, you'll get the same thing with the light intensity the most here at the base, because the geometry light is inside the object and it's coming out and it's fracturing here, so it's the most intense here. Or over here it's the least intense because the light's not penetrating all that much. So if you make your object semi-transparent, like if you made a shader network and this is glass, the geolight would be very powerful because it's transparent. Like I used it when I created lava. It was really helpful because without the geolight, suffice it to say, it kind of looked like Play-Doh. Just a solid shade of light orange, kind of like plastic. It was animated plastic, mind you, but didn't look that good. Put on geolight and I was able to work with Vex, Houdini's shading code networks, and it turned out fairly well. Actually, I will show you guys what it looked like. Oh, this is Odd Force. Whenever you have issues, just go here and post them, and people in the community worldwide will help you. Vimeo myself. And here's my lava. Now let's go back so I can break this down. As you can see, this rock here, it's an actual geometry that I have in there because the light is emitting from the lava here, the geo, and it's coming through at the base and it's illuminating this rock here. And as you can tell, it's going on both sides of the rock. It's going down and behaving just like actual lava would. I need to go back and fix this up because it's kind of big in the particles. So, as you can tell, it's a little big for actual lava, so I'm going to have to go back and fix that. But past that, I'm proud of it. So, anyhow, that is the basics of cashing out your geometry and a little addition of geolite. So, thank you.